I wanted to show you some more stuff that I got out of this thing, which is actually pretty cool. So there's some microphones, and we can actually use these, and we get all these other pieces out here. But look, we've got this stuff that's inside the covers that were over these microphones, and then the microphones were actually inside these things. I don't know exactly why. So the microphone sat in there like that. But this could prove interesting. Let's see if I can find one and put it back in there. So this thing was sitting in there like this. And then it forms some kind of acoustic chamber. And that, my friends, could end up being very interesting inside of a microphone for a radio. The other thing is these here may work good to kind of form a pop filter. So we got that. We have a little tiny speaker right here, which has actually got a connector that might be useful for something Arduino related. We have this microphone, which is completely still inside the case. So that's going to look like one of those. So we'll leave that there. And hit that with all this garbage. This had a light in it. You've got mail. So if you want a little mail light. And then there's a little piece of foam right here, which would work great inside of a microphone also. So there's another microphone. So all in all, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 elements. And these are the short ones. But I still think that they'll fit in my ICOM microphone project I'm working on. And believe it or not, you can use this as a dynamic microphone element if you want to. So we have lots of options here. And then, like I said, you could use this board here to practice your surface mount skills. And then you could take the rest of these screws and save them for whenever you lose something, because, well, they're common. And you end up with a lot of them. Just get yourself a magnetic tray. And if you build a lot of projects and do a lot of stuff, you probably find a use for them. Here's a piece of aluminum. I don't know if you could find a use for it. There's always a use for something. The problem is, at some point, you got to stop hoarding and collecting stuff. But this thing here, I just wanted to take it apart because I was basically going, well, I don't know what to do with it. It's about to get thrown out. I bought it at the thrift store thinking that I could use it for the camera because I thought it might work. I didn't realize that they had made it obsolete. This actually has some weight to it, and it's a Carl Zeiss labeled lens, but in order to do anything with it, I'm not sure if you could break it out on this board, but it did plug in on here. So you do have that, but I don't think you could probably use it, to be honest, but maybe. So that's e-waste for you guys, and it's because Logitech decided that they were no longer going to let this device work anymore. Amazon's done that with a bunch of stuff that they make too, so they're not alone.